Hello, my dear students. I wish you are fine and you enjoy your time. Today our lessons reading Unit 8, Lesson 5. Open your class book and workbook. Class book on page 66, workbook on page 61 and 2. We are going to read and understand a recipe, and we are going to learn some food vocabularies: potato, butter, cheese, salt, pepper, and peas. But first, let's do our homework, please. Thanks for doing your homework, and let's correct it together. Exercise number 1. Say the words with ld and ld. Do you remember ld and ld? Circle the odd one out. Write this word: adult, field, child, quilt. What meaning of the odd one? The odd one means الكلمة الغريبة. Okay? Now, number 1. What's this picture? Child, ild. Okay? Ild. Quilt, ilt. And shield, ild. What's the odd one? Quilt. Okay? Circle the odd one and write the word quilt. Number 2. Shield, ild, field, ild. And adult, alt. Okay? What's the odd one? Adult. Circle adult and write the word, please. Adult. Number 3. Field, ild, adult, pelt. Which one is the odd one? Field. Yes. Circle field and write it. Field, ild. Number 4. Pelt, quilt, child. Which one is the odd one? Pelt, quilt, child. Write child, please. Child. Ild. Let's read the odd ones, please. Number 1, quilt. Number 2, adult. Number 3, field. Number 4, child. Now, exercise number 2. Now, number 2, complete the words. Write T, true, or F, false. Look at the picture and let's decide true or false. What can you see in the picture? Okay? There is a child in the bedroom. True. We have a child in the bedroom. Number 2, there is a, who can tell me, pelt on the chair. False. We don't have a pelt on the chair. We have a pelt on the desk. Correct it with me, please. Yes. Number 3, there is a quilt. Quilt. Yes. Look at a quilt. There is a quilt on the bed. True. We have a quilt on the bed. Number 4, there is a shield. Ild on the door. False. We don't have a shield on the door. False. 5, there are some cows in the field. Ild. False. We have sheep. In the field. Number 6, there is an adult, alt, okay, in the bedroom. False. There is a child in the bedroom. Yes, please write them, okay? Correct them on your workbook. Exercise number 3. Right, do you remember the chant? Do you chant alone at your home? Let's see. We have field, ild, quilt, adult, shield. Who can complete the chant? A child and an adult. A child and an adult are standing in a what? Field. Are standing in a field. The adult got a quilt. Yes, The adult got a quilt. The child got a shield. Now, please open your class book on page 66. Let's listen, point, and repeat. We have some new food vocabulary and we need them to prepare our dish. Do you like them? Yes, we like them. We have potato, potato, potato. Butter, butter, butter. Cheese, cheese, cheese. Salt. What meaning of salt? Salt, ملح الطعام, الملح. We have pepper, pepper, and we have peas. Peas. Now, who can tell me which two words rhyme together? Which two words rhyme together have the same sound? We have cheese and peas. Cheese, peas. Okay? They rhyme together. Do you remember our lesson about countable and uncountable nouns? Let's remember this word as countable or uncountable. Potato. Is potato a countable noun or uncountable? Countable, yes. We can say one potato, two potatoes, okay? Butter, butter, uncountable noun, okay? We can't count butter, uncountable. Cheese, uncountable noun, uncountable. We can't count cheese, okay? Salt, we can't count salt. Can we say, for example, one salt, two salts? We can't. It's uncountable. We use some salt. I need some salt. Pepper. What's the meaning of pepper? Means الفلفل. Okay? Uncountable. We can't count pepper. Peas. Uncountable. Okay? We can't count peas. Yes, now listen, point. Then listen and repeat. Listen carefully.
Listening 77. Listen and point.
Potato, butter, cheese, salt, pepper, peas, salt, cheese, peas, butter, pepper, potato,
Listen and repeat.
potato,
Yes, repeat. Potato,
butter, cheese, salt, pepper, peas.
Now our lesson is my favorite dish. Look at the text and the picture, please. What's the meaning of my favorite dish? My favorite dish is something you like, okay? Something you prefer. What's your favorite dish? What's the meaning of dish? Dish means meal, وجبة, okay? My favorite dish. What's your favorite dish? My favorite dish is chicken. My favorite dish is meat, okay? I like fries. So here we talk about our favorite dish. Now look at the ingredients. What's the meaning of ingredients? Now we will see what's the meaning of ingredients and what do we want to cook a dish. Okay? What is the text about? Then it's about recipe. What's the meaning of recipe? وصفة. Okay? It's about recipe. Means how to cook a dish. How to cook a fish. And what do we need to cook the dish? What food can you see in the pictures below? Look at the picture. What food can we see? We can see two big potatoes. Okay? Potatoes. Look at S, countable. Two big potatoes. We can see a piece of meat, a piece of fish. Do you like fish? A piece of fish. Some milk and butter. A lot of cheese. Some salt and pepper. Some fresh peas. So, we need to cook a dish. These ingredients: 2 big potatoes, a piece of fish, some milk and butter, a lot of cheese, some salt and pepper, some peas. Let's revise the ingredients of our recipe. Again, let's read them. 2 big potatoes. A piece of fish. Okay, a piece of fish. Some milk and butter. A lot of cheese. Okay, a lot of cheese. الكثير. Some salt and pepper. الملح والفلفل. Some peas. Before reading the text, let's read cooking vocabulary. Look at the picture. What is she doing? She's cooking. Cook. It's a verb. Cook. What is she doing? Mash. Okay, she's mashing. Mash. What's the meaning of mash? To crush and break up vegetables like potatoes. Okay, mash. Yes, mix. She's mixing. What's the meaning of mix? Putting vegetables together. Putting food together. Okay, so we have verbs: cook, mash, and mix. Verbs. Okay. Now, what's this? Oven. Okay, oven. We need oven to cook, to make pizza. Okay. Dish. Put. Yes, we have here nouns: oven, dish, and put. We have nouns. Now let's move to our text. My favorite dish. Now let's listen and read our text. But before that, please, when you read it, point to the ingredients when you hear them. For example, potatoes, butter, cheese, pepper. Okay, point to them when you listen.
Listening 78. Listen and read.
Today I want to tell you how to make my favorite dish. You need 2 big potatoes and you need a piece of fish. You need some milk and butter and you need a lot of cheese. You need some salt and pepper and you need some nice fresh peas. You cook the 2 potatoes and you mash them in a pot. You cook the peas in water and you make them nice and hot. You cook the fish in milk now and you put it in a dish. You take the peas and butter and you mix them with the fish. You add the mashed potatoes and you put the cheese on top. You cook it in the oven. When it's brown on top, you stop.
Now let's read it together, please. Today I want to tell you how to make my favorite dish. Okay, I want to tell you about the recipe of making this dish. You need 2 big potatoes. Do you remember 2 big potatoes? Yes, and you need a piece of fish. Yes, a piece of fish. You need some milk and butter. You need some milk and butter. And you need a lot of cheese. A lot of cheese. You need some salt and pepper. Yes, and you need some nice fresh peas. Look at peas. Yes. You cook the 2 potatoes. First, you cook the 2 potatoes. Do you remember the verb cook? Cook. Yes. And you mash them in a pot. Do you remember the verb mash? Yes. What's the meaning of mash? Mash potatoes. يهرس. In a pot. You cook the peas in water. Do you remember the verb cook? Yes, again you cook the peas. And you make them nice and hot. Nice and hot. You cook the fish in milk now. Okay, you cook the fish in milk now. And you put it in a dish. You put it in a dish. You take the peas and butter. Again, you take the peas and butter. And you mix them with the fish. Do you remember the verb mix? What's the meaning of mix? يخلط. Mix them with the fish. You add. What's the meaning of add? It's a verb. Add. يضيف. You add the mashed potatoes. And you put the cheese on top. Okay? You put the cheese on top. تضع الجبنة في الأعلى. Look at the cheese. Look at cheese. You cook it in the oven. Do you remember oven? What's the meaning of oven? الفرن. You cook it in the oven. When it's brown in top, when it's brown on top, you stop. Okay? When it's brown on top, you stop. Now I want to ask you some comprehension questions. How many potatoes do you need? How many potatoes? We need 2 potatoes. What do you cook in milk? What do you cook in milk? You cook the fish in milk. You cook the fish in milk. Number 4. Read again and write T true or F false. You are going to read sentences about the dish and decide if they are true or false. Let's read the sentences. You need 2 small potatoes. False. You need 2 big potatoes. 2 big. You need a piece of meat. False. You need a piece of fish. Number 3, you need some butter. You need some butter. True. Number 4, you cook the peas in milk. You cook the peas in milk. False. Number 5, you put the fish in a dish. Yes, true. You put the fish in a dish. Number 6, you put the cheese on top. You put the cheese on top. Of course, we put the cheese on top. Now you have homework on page 62. Number 1, exercise number 1, reading. Circle the words and write. Okay? Look at the words. We read it. Number 1, peas. Number 1, peas. Number 2, what's this? Number 2, pepper. Pepper. Number 3, butter. Number 3, butter. Number 4, cheese. Number 5, potato. Number 6. Now exercise number 2. Read the text in the class book again and write a shopping list for my favorite dish. It's homework to write it here and in your notebook. Okay? Don't forget to do your homework. Yes, now it's time to say